Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vision salad of life and boring news, folks. It's our job to give you some interesting news in the world of sports, entertainment, odd news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across in this hour-long or so podcast. I'm Rich Liebig.
And I'm Mike Costanzo.
And, it is a fun week coming up. It is Thanksgiving time.
Oh, boy.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble, indeed.
Yep. We've talked about it previously, but I just love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays.
It's a great holiday because it's so...
Despite the fact we have a Christmas tree in the background.
I know.
You know,
I talked about it last week. Whatever. You got to get ahead of the curve sometime, I guess. But I love Thanksgiving because it's so simple. Not in its preparation. It's very complicated, but simple in the fact that you're just getting together with people you care about, and you're just eating till you kind of like reach a point where you think you might die, and then you
eat more.
And then you pull back a little bit, you watch a little bit of football, you have some conversations, then you eat a little bit more.
Ooh, I don't know if you're going to want to watch football, though, this time.
Oh, it's bad matchups.
It's a bad one with Giants and Cowboys, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other games are not. I was going through, I do the research for like the Fantastic Four, and I'm like, there's only 5 games that have teams with winning records. Like, I don't know what happened. It's all like a 10-1 Chiefs and a 3-8 Raiders.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
This week it was just polar opposites for every matchup. There's literally no good matchups this week.
Well, there are some because we have them in the Fantastic Four picks.
We found at least 4.
Yes. So we will have that for you in just a bit in the sports sampler. But before we get to all that, anything else you want to mention, Mikey, other than Thanksgiving and football and any other personal bits?
Yes. Power Wash Simulator. Go play it.
Okay. You love Power.
It's so good. It's so cathartic.
Could you just take the next step and just open up your own power washing bay?
I've power washed quite a bit in my life before.
Yeah.
It's fun. When I used to do the pool job, we used to power wash stuff.
So why don't you just, if you still find enjoyment in it, why don't you just create a side hustle?
Listen, don't tempt me with a good time, because if you've never used a power washer, it's very cathartic to just watch like this perfect line get like cleared off of like all this stuff. It's just something about it just like tickles the right part of my brain. The methodicism of it, the calmness of it.
Okay.
Have you ever power washed anything? It's very cathartic.
No.
Go buy a power washer and power wash something that's really grimy and tell me it isn't super satisfying.
Is there one available on Black Friday? Should we have to keep an eye out on Amazon?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But anyway, Power Wash Simulator, it's a fantastic distraction. It's literally a game you can play while, people are watching Christmas movies, and maybe you don't feel like watching whatever Christmas movie they're into, or, whatever, and you can just sit there on your device of choice and just very calmly, methodically power wash some stuff.
Well, to me, see, here's the thing with those I feel like you should, if you're having that much fun
doing the game version,
then you need to figure out a way to channel that to
I'll tell you
real world skill.
I'll tell you why there's a difference, because the game version, it's scratching that itch of like completionism, but you don't have to worry about like. So with real power washers, you can damage the stuff that you're power washing. You don't have to worry about that in the game. Like, you can like chip away too much of like a surface or paint. Yeah. So like, I remember when I used to do the power washing, you had to be very careful with how you did it, because you don't want to ruin people's like hardscaping,
Okay.
But the game version, you don't have to worry about. You're just trying to clean something that's messy, and so there's something about that's very cathartic. But also the game itself is just really peaceful. Like, you're just kind of like very slowly going through and making sure you're doing 100% of the. I can see I'm losing you here.
Are you the kind of person that plays Red Dead Redemption 2 and you love like the fishing?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Fishing minigames in video games, that's where it's at.
Oh my god! Why don't you just do fishing?
Stardew Valley, right?
Then why don't you just fish?
Stardew Valley, that's one of them. Animal Crossing. How many other Red Dead Redemption.
But yeah.
How many
why
other
don't
games
you
have
just be
fishing
a
in them?
fisherman? Go get a boat.
No, because again, when you're actually
be
fishing,
like Lefty.
when you're actually fishing, you have to sit there for 8 hours and maybe you get a fish. But in a video game, you always get a fish.
You should be like Lefty and Donnie Brasco. I'm gonna get my boat, and no one's gonna tell me where to go. East, west, south, north, don't matter.
Oh man, no, I don't think I could do actual fishing. There's too much nature. It's too much waiting. But in a video game, there's something very peaceful and relaxing about it. Are you telling me you don't like fishing mini games?
No, I skip all that. Red Dead Redemption 2, I don't get it. Red Dead Redemption 2, I am in it to be the villain. I want to shoot some things.
I'm hunting.
I want to rob
fishing.
banks. I want to collect the money.
Any game that has a farming mechanic, I'm all over it.
Yeah, there are farming video games. Why don't you just be a farmer?
Have you ever played Stardew Valley?
No.
Go play Stardew Valley.
I can't.
And then come. Yes, you can.
I thought isn't that Nintendo?
No, it's on everywhere.
Oh,
you can get it on phones. You can get it on computer, PlayStation.
I really can't because I'm saving my money for Alan Wake 2. I don't have much of a video game budget.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
I have to save it for that one.
That's fair. But let me tell you, there's something so just relaxing and peaceful about going through something very routinely, very methodically.
I feel like there needs to be. I feel like this could be the new career test. I feel like we should interview
Which
these
simulator
kids.
game do you like the best?
If you are a what do you call it when you're in high school and you get counselor? If you are a guidance counselor to these kids, and they're like, I don't know what I want to do with my life, and then someone is like, well, what video games do you play? And you say,
no,
farming simulator.
This is what you do. You sit them down in front of a PlayStation, but there's only simulator games. There's truck driver simulator. There's surgeon simulator. There's power wash simulator. Like all the different simulators, and you just sit them there for like 2 hours, and you see which ones do they play, which ones do they play the most of. That's what they should do.
I think there should be some, I don't know, maybe not as clear cut as that, but I think that should be a strong indicator that, hey, maybe you should look into something like that.
I'll say this. I don't think it's a good indicator, though, because I would not want to be a farmer in real life or open up a power washing side hustle in real life because it's just, that's my escape. It can't be my job because then my escape becomes work, you know?
Okay, I don't know. I feel like there's a missed opportunity here with the kids of America.
I think the only missed opportunity is you not embracing the cozy game and simulator game genres to their fullest.
No, yeah. I don't get it.
I'm telling you, if you get a chance, go play Stardew Valley. Then you come back, you tell me, you say, Mikey, you were right.
Yeah, okay.
I'm telling you. It's good stuff. But anyway.
Yes.
That's what I've been playing Power Wash Simulator. I also got a chance to see Wicked in theaters, but I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
In the meantime, what have you been up to?
I decided to binge watch Only Murders in the Building season 4. So
okay.
Nice. I just boom. I did what you do. I waited till the. It was one of those things like I didn't catch the first couple episodes.
And you fell behind, and you're like, I might as well just wait it out.
Right, I might as well just wait it out because I was down 3 episodes. I was like, I might as well just wait till it all comes out.
I like having a few in the holster. What?
It's a funny way to phrase that. Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, just. Well, because I mean,
instead of spinning guns, you're spinning remote control clickers.
Right, exactly. No, because there's so many shows.
Oh no, is that Mikey Costanzo? Oh no,
he's the show slinger. Which is funny because I don't sling any shows. I barely watch TV anymore. But no, I like to have a few in reserve so that you can actually have a nice little marathon like you did. You know?
Yeah. I just barreled through it and.
What'd you think of season 4?
Loved it. I really love that show. I think it's just the perfect mixture of drama, comedy, mystery. It's got just a little bit of everything. I love it. And I love Martin Short and Steve Martin.
Oh my God, the cast is fantastic. I mean, even Selena Gomez
even Selena Gomez is awesome.
So great. Yeah. And all the guests they have, I mean, the guest actors and actresses are wild.
Yeah,
they have Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
They have what?
I watching this season, maybe a little bit of spoiler territory. I don't know, man. I think there is something between Meryl Streep and Martin Short.
Oh, really? You think?
They're both single. They're both not attached to anybody.
And maybe.
And a lot of those courtsy love scenes. They seem pretty honest.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's an interesting take.
I don't know.
You should ask them.
Right. If only I could
reach out to them on Instagram or
I'm
Twitter.
sure they've been asked millions of times.
Yeah, and they'll always deny it, but
I don't know.
Rich has a suspicion.
Watch season 3 and 4. There's a couple scenes you're like,
the chemistry is for real.
Yeah, like that's interesting.
The on-screen chemistry.
Yeah, and I would like to see it too.
Off-screen.
I would like to see it. I think that'd be a fun
good.
match.
That'd be a good pairing. Yeah.
Anyway, I highly recommend it. The whole show, I love that show. Every season has been just about perfect. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
And they're only half-hour episodes too. You really can get through it pretty quickly.
Yeah, so like your season-long marathon was like you could be done in a day easily.
I did 2 days. I did 5. Yeah. I did 5 episodes each day.
Yeah, it really flies by. It's great stuff.
So there you go. Check that out if you can. But there is other things that we kept an eye on for, and that was sports news. So let's launch into the sports sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
Yep, sports coming at you in your face. And this is a very interesting time if you are a New York City football fan.
Oh, no! We suck again!
Because, wow, you guys are getting it from both ends. Both of your teams are doing horribly. The Jets are just falling rapidly out of control. Aaron Rodgers is even talking about he wants to play next year, but it may not be with the Jets.
Yeah, they're already planning for next year in the middle of this season, which is never a good sign.
Yeah. Teams that are tanking are usually doing that.
Right, exactly.
So, wow, I don't know what's happening there.
But on the flip side.
But then yes, that's correct. Computer, thank you, internet security. They're so, I guess they're Jets fans. They're so outraged.
It must be. That was outrage right there.
They're so outraged that they had to comment.
But Giants fans are also outraged.
Yeah,
because
but then
their team. Whew.
Where to begin?
I don't know which is worse, the Jets having to watch that disaster or Giants fan was watching Saquon Barkley just absolutely having a career year, which we'll get to. But it was this major headline that just popped up.
Yeah.
That is just, it's just so bizarre. The Daniel Jones era in New York is officially over.
Yep. Giants have released Daniel Jones. He cleared waivers, so right now he is an unrestricted free agent, and he's going to hear offers.
Nobody wanted him.
Well, but you know what? As a backup, that's a valuable backup to have. So
why did nobody claim him off waivers, though?
Well, because you owe the remainder of the contract.
Oh, yeah. So you might as well let
So
him
I
clear
think
waivers.
it was something like $12 million you would have been owed if you claimed him off waivers. And for For what, 8 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, not worth it.
No, that's a fair point. Yeah, you do.
So now he's an unrestricted free agent. So now you can do whatever you want in terms of contract.
This is the funniest timeline for the Giants because obviously the clip that went viral after the Eagles signed Saquon Barkley of the owner saying, "Oh, if he goes to Philadelphia, I'm going to have trouble sleeping."
Boy.
And then you have Saquon Barkley putting up. I mean, people are talking about MVP.
Yes.
And then the guy that they let Saquon walk for in order to afford Daniel Jones, they just end up cutting him 12 weeks into the season.
Yep. Boy, the Giants have messed up everything, and it is glorious.
Oh, man. If I were a Giants fan, I would just give up and become a different fan. I mean, it's like there's nothing to look forward to there.
This is the worst timeline. And I would like to think that things are going to change. But as of right now, the Giants have not gotten rid of the GM or their head coach yet. I mean, I'm sure it's probably going to happen at the end of the season, but it has not happened yet. At least the Jets actually got rid of their GM and their head coach.
Yeah, was that the right call for them?
It probably wasn't when it happened, but now that they've tanked so much, they are now further ahead than they are of the Giants. Because you know the Giants are going to they are going to wipe the slate clean. They're going to get rid of the GM that made this boneheaded move of getting rid of Saquon, and they're going to get rid of the head coach, Dable, because I mean he's lost control of the team. I mean, you have Malik Neighbors. Did you see that? Malik Neighbors was complaining. He's like, by the time I got the ball, it was 30-0.
Oh man, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's not good. Now the
Yikes.
star wide receiver is complaining.
Not just the star, but your star rookie receiver.
Yeah.
Like he's not even a veteran complaining. He's just like some new guy.
Well,
You
he
know?
is.
I know he's a big star, but the
yeah.
point that I'm making is that usually that's a really bad sign when the young kids are chirping about the coaching and,
Yeah,
and the organization.
He literally said, "By the time I get the ball, it's 30-0."
Yeah, that's not a good sign. That means you've definitely lost control. That means there's no veteran presence in that locker room to stop young guys from speaking out like that.
Yeah. So Brian Dable's gone. The GM's going to be gone, but unfortunately, it might be one of those weird situations where the Jets, despite doing it at worse times, they might be better off right now because they've already started their search for a new GM.
Yeah.
I don't know about head coach because who knows what they're going to do. Is their head coach going to be Aaron Rodgers next year? I don't know.
Maybe.
But at least for GM, they have already started to get the feelers out for that job. So they, on that front, they're actually ahead of the Giants. But boy, is that talking about a race between dog crap and cat crap.
Yeah, it's just a man.
What, I don't even know what situation's better.
I guess you take the wins where you can get them. I guess if you want to view starting the GM, hiring process sooner as a win, that's all you're going to get this season. So, yeah, you might as well take it, right?
I don't know. What situation would you rather have, the Jets or the Giants?
As weird as it sounds, Giants. And I'll say because they have an opportunity to really wipe the slate clean. With the Jets, you still have the albatross of Aaron Rodgers hanging over you.
Yeah.
Because the next GM that comes in, are you going to be the GM?
Or is Aaron Rodgers part GM?
Right. But are you going to be the GM to be like, no, I don't want future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers, and then you're going to get flack for it no matter what you do? Or are you going to be the GM who signs him again and get flack for it no matter what you do? And if you sign him, do you then have to split duties with him? Like it's literally a lose-lose-lose situation. So as weird as it is to say, and as bad as those fans might be feeling, I think the Giants might be slightly better off right now just because they don't have to deal with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, interesting.
What about you? What situation would you want to be in if you're working for one of these two organizations, and you see Aaron Rodgers? He brought in all his superhero amazing friends. He got a coach fired, a GM fired. Players had to leave to make room for his contract. You want to walk into that viper's nest and be like, "Yeah, I can make this work."
Maybe because I think with the Jets, if you have talent to work with between,
if you have the balls to cut Rodgers,
I think
that's the real thing,
right? I think you're gonna have that's gonna be the line in the sand. You're gonna have to probably have a sit down with Aaron Rodgers and frankly adjust his talents and everything. The Jets though do have talent. I mean, their defense
they do. That's true.
Has pieces. They
have Sauce Gardner. They have a good defensive line.
On the offensive side, they've got Breece Hall. They've got components there to kind of rebound, I feel like. But the Giants, the problem with the Giants now, and I think this was what Grandma Cam Newton said on one of the shows, is if I'm a star player, I don't know why I'd want to go to the Giants. Every star player that the Giants have had in the last like 6-7 years has ended like atrociously between Odell Beckham Jr., between Saquon, and now with Daniel Jones.
They do mismanage their stars.
They don't know how to handle talent, it seems like. And in all facets, whether it's their PR, whether it's actually using them correctly on the field, I mean, it is embarrassing that Saquon Barkley has exploded in Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley looks like a cheat code. He looks like some sort of like weird thing that you've programmed into Madden that you can just give the ball off to, and he just like saves your game if you're behind. Like and the Giants had him for 6 seasons,
something like that.
He never looked like this during his time with New York.
Yeah.
So that indicates just a lack of just handling, a lack of utilizing talent. So, like, if I'm a star player, why would I go to the Giants? The Giants really could be in desperate trouble in the next couple seasons.
That's a fair point. I guess the only thing going for the Giants in that regard is that if they find the right people in the front office, they do have an opportunity to start completely over, which you very rarely get in the modern NFL. Whereas with the Jets, you have a lot of it. Like you said, they're good existing pieces, but a lot of existing pieces to deal with, primarily Rodgers. So I guess if I were coming into the Giants to those star players, I'd be like, hey, we're trying to start something new. This is a clean start, clean page. Come be part of this journey. We're going to be a different Giants than you saw before. Don't go across the street to the Jets because they're a disaster. You're going to have to play to the whims of Aaron Rodgers, not the organization. I feel like there's a little bit of play that they can do that way, but I think the key is in either situation, New York is just a bad football town to be in right now.
Right now. Yeah, both teams are just
honestly,
tanking horribly.
the fact that we're debating which god-awful team you'd rather saddle up with, they're both a disaster. You're both going to be riding not into the sunset, but into a flaming pile of crap,
Yeah. It is not a good time to be a New York football fan.
Because next year is going to be rough for both of them.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, who they bring in, what GMs and coaches, it's going to be major growing pains.
Yeah. And as of right now, as of the time of this recording, Daniel Jones has not agreed on to where he's going to go with. But I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be
Dallas do the funniest thing ever.
They could, and I think that would be funny. But I think the real landing spot is the Raiders because they just lost Gardner Minshew for the year.
Yeah.
So you just need depth because the only only quarterback they have now is Aiden O'Connell.
I don't even know who that is.
Who's that?
Yeah. Just some dude.
So I think the answer is the Raiders if I had to propose an answer.
Very rarely does Dallas do the right thing, but they have a great opportunity to do the right thing here and sign Daniel Jones and play him against the Giants on Thanksgiving. That would be that would be an early Christmas gift, I think.
Speaking of doing the right thing at the wrong time or the wrong thing at the right time.
Okay.
Dallas wins a weird game against Washington.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. First off, the way that they won the game was weird. It was there was 4 touchdowns scored in the last 2 minutes of their game against Washington. And Washington blew it on a missed point after. Washington could have tied the game and forced overtime, but their kicker missed a point after. So that was crazy. But then the actual ramifications of this, that Dallas won, but they just shot themselves in the foot if they had any inkling of trying to tank and get a better draft pick. They just shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Now they can't get it.
The real trouble is now there's murmurs of can they make a late season push?
They would have to win every game out. Do you think that's going to happen with this Dallas team?
Literally saw that headline though.
But do you think that's going to happen?
Absolutely not.
No, I'm fine. Go ahead. Have all your headlines.
But here's the thing.
No.
But here's the thing. No, I'm going to support your point here because here's the thing. It doesn't need to be possible for the Cowboys organization and fans to think that it is.
Yes.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yes,
because
just believe.
To amplify your point, they shot themselves in the foot because they're like, oh, maybe. And then they struggle so hard, so valiantly to finish with an 8-9 record and still miss the playoffs. They're in a situation where that's a very real possibility. They could struggle and give it their all and rally and still whiff, and then they're stuck with the 17th pick in the draft.
Perfect.
Instead of a top 10 pick.
Perfect. Love it.
So you're absolutely right. You just don't go far enough because now they're in their mindset maybe we can do it.
Yes. So go ahead, do that if you want. But then also on the flip side of that game, Washington loses. So they
Big
stumble
questions for Washington now, behind in the division now.
So they stumble against the Eagles now, and then the Eagles come through on Sunday night and win big against the Rams, 37-20 on Sunday night. Glorious game for Saquon. I think was it the 5th most rushing yards ever in a game or something like that. Something crazy.
I know for a fact, I don't know if it's the 5th most, but I know for a fact it broke the Eagles' single game record that
Yeah.
Shady held for a while.
Yeah, ridiculous. 2 separate 70-yard touchdown runs.
Yep, for 255 total yards on the ground. But wait, because he also had receiving yards, he had 302 yards of offense by himself. For anyone keeping track, that is more yards than the Rams had in total. The Rams had 290 total offensive yards. Saquon Barkley outgained them by himself.
Yes, the entire Giants team. Yes,
The entire Rams team.
I mean, and
But the
Giants
Giants,
teams.
too.
Sure, add the Giants to it too.
He outgained a lot of teams, actually.
Yeah.
When you look at it.
So this was glorious. The Eagles somehow won doubly between this and Dallas. I get maybe triple between the draft, between the division lead, and then an actual win.
Well, the Eagles have a really commanding lead in the division now. I mean, it's a full 3 games, right? Because I think Washington is, 7-5, I think, currently?
Yes, I think that sounds right.
Yeah, 7-5. We're 9-2. So, we would have to completely reverse our fortunes right now.
And right now, the Eagles have the tiebreaker.
Have the
because of head-to-head.
tiebreaker, yeah. So both those teams would have to completely 180 their current situation in order for this to change. So the Eagles are really flying high. There was one thing that did clip our wings a bit, and that is the fact that we have to talk about how defensive end Brandon Graham did have a fantastic game, but it might be his last one as an Eagle. He suffered a potentially career-ending tricep tear.
Yeah.
He seemed very broken up about it.
Yeah.
It seems like that's it for Brandon Graham. He's probably not going to make a comeback from this.
Well, he was saying that this was going to be his last year anyway.
Yeah.
So having the injury, I think that's the icing on the cake here. But what a way to go out. I mean, he had a fantastic game.
He had a fantastic game. He had a couple of great tackles behind the line. He had a sack, a couple quarterback hits. I mean, he was all over the place. At 36 years old, I could barely get out of bed without my back hurting. And he's out there sacking Matt Stafford, one of the greats. Brandon Graham is a true Eagles legend.
Yeah.
And I love his story because he didn't start that way. He was a certifiable bust those first few years. Do you remember the talk? We should have taken Earl Thomas. We should have taken Jason Pierre-Paul, who we might pick up as defensive end depth.
Yeah.
Because he's still out there as a free agent.
Yeah.
But Brandon Graham really turned his career around, and he is 3rd all-time on the Eagles sack list.
Well,
which is kind of crazy because the only people ahead of him are Reggie White.
Yeah.
Which nobody's going to surpass that. And I think the next guy it's Trent Cole. He has 10 more sacks than Brandon Graham, but Reggie White has 100 more sacks than Trent Cole. So
you're not beating that.
So it's not even fair. Basically, I'm going to say he's number 2 overall because Reggie White's in a completely different
stratosphere
realm of existence. Yeah.
Yeah. I know emotionally that sucks, and I know, it pings at your heartstrings. He was the hero of the Super Bowl, stripping Tom Brady in that game. But overall for this season, I don't think it's as big of a loss as it could be. Because Brandon Graham, even though he had a great game, you could tell though his skills were starting to wind down.
His snap count has been reduced, but I also learned that he was playing with some kind of weird elbow issue, which led to the triceps tear, trying to play through that. But what's more costly is the fact that we now are very thin at defensive end. I think we only have, 4 defensive ends, 3 or 4 defensive ends. You really want 5 to do the rotation that we use. So there's talk about us trying to find a replacement, either internally or signing a free agent. I'd rather them go out and sign a free agent than to swap guys around, because right now the linebackers are working really well. The defensive tackles are working really well. You don't want to start moving guys around and fall into that trap.
Yeah.
So maybe Brandon Graham's individual production wasn't as high, but I think his real benefit was the veteran leadership on the field. and the fact that he was keeping the other guys fresh by coming in, 20 some snaps a game.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's an emotional loss, but I don't think it's the end of the world for this defensive line.
But sometimes those emotional injuries playing at SoFi against the Rams late in a season where you only have 1 or 2 losses can lead to positive things like a Super Bowl. People
Yeah.
are drawing parallels to 2017.
That damn SoFi
It was,
Stadium.
I think it was literally the same week because we were 11-1 when Carson Wentz went down.
Sounds about right.
I think it was like roughly the same time frame, same stadium, lost to a key player. An Eagles legend being sidelined. That time was Jason Peters. This time Brandon Graham. Are we going back to the Super Bowl, Rich?
Well, I mean, they're looking pretty good, but I think that is the cue to make predictions. So with that in mind, should we go to Fantastic Four picks?
Let's do it.
All right, time for 4 games that we think you should keep an eye out for this upcoming week of games. Fantastic Four picks mode activated. What are the games?
All right, first up, we have Rich's pick of the week. The Pittsburgh Steelers are traveling to division rival Cincinnati Bengals. This is a Sunday 1 o'clock game. I think I have a feeling why Rich likes this game, but Rich, why don't you tell the people why you like it?
So this is a big divisional matchup. The Steelers are coming off of a shock loss to the Browns. So they're going into Cincinnati looking to rebound. But Cincinnati, watch out for this game. Cincinnati is in desperation mode, and they are not a team to scoff at. I know that they have a losing record at 4-7, but this team, I feel like, has been a product of just really bad luck. This offense is actually flying high. Joe Burrow has been constantly throwing touchdowns. He may have a franchise record of scoring by the end of this season. And if you go by their point differential for a team that is 4-7, you know what their point differential is?
It's probably crazy positive, right?
It's even. For them
it's
being
even?
4-7.
Oh,
You
wow.
would think they would have a very negative
You'd think
point
it-
differential.
yeah, you'd think so.
They are even. That's a really oddball statistic there for a losing record team. And in terms of their point productions, they keep pace with the rest of that division, with Pittsburgh, with Baltimore, and certainly with Cleveland. And at 4-7, if they lose this game and go 4-8 and they fall to 1-3 in their division, this season's over. So as far as I'm concerned for Cincinnati, this is either win or you might as well just tank the season. The season's over. This is the line in the sand. I think Cincinnati's going to come full force at home. They're getting T. Higgins back as well. That offense should be flying high. I'm going Bengals at home. That's my pick of the week. I think you got to run with Cincinnati this weekend.
Wow, I think that I had that pegged all wrong because I thought you were going to go the other way.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Normally, I'm a big Bengals supporter. I like the Bengals. I think they're more talented than their record shows. But I think in a situation like this, I really think that they're on the outside looking in when it comes to that division. There's no way they're going to be able to claw their way back above Baltimore and Pittsburgh, or even just Baltimore at this point. I think that they're at the point in the season where they're playing for moral victories, but the problem is moral victories, they don't get you very far when it comes across opponents like the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're 4-2 on the road. They have a top-tier defense. Yes, they dropped one to the Browns, but that's the perfect opportunity to bounce back against another division opponent and show that you still deserve to be in the conversation as one of the best teams in the league right now. They're finding ways to win games. They have a great ground game, great defense. That is the perfect recipe for keeping the ball out of high-flying passing attacks. So I am begrudgingly going with the Steelers on the road, even though they're the underdog. I really like the Bengals, but I think the Steelers have this one.
I am also going to mention, too, Bengals win this game and go to 5-7. They actually go to 8th in the... They start to contend for a wild card spot. So I'm telling you, this is like the line in the sand for Cincinnati. They either win this game and contend for a wild card, or they lose and they might as well tank the season.
Well, we will see. Next up, we have the only NFC game between two winning teams. This is the Arizona Cardinals at the Minnesota Vikings. Rich, who do you like in this matchup? It was a very tough week to pick games. There weren't that many good ones.
It is,
And this is a weird one.
the Cardinals. I was about to support them, and then they choked the game to the Seahawks, and now I don't know what to make of them again. Whereas the Vikings, the Lions better not misstep. The Vikings have been keeping pace this entire season.
Yep.
They are waiting for an opportunity for the Lions to make a crucial error.
They're only one game behind.
Yeah.
All it takes is a single loss on the Lions' part, then all of a sudden the division's in jeopardy for them.
Yeah, and I think it's just because the Vikings have just been playing smart football. I like what I'm seeing from them. I like the Vikings at home in this one.
Yeah, I mean, they're not getting a lot of attention, but that kind of works in their favor. They're kind of just flying under the radar here, doing their thing, playing really, like you said, sound, solid football. How about Sam Darnold having like a career year? 2,700 passing yards, 20-some touchdowns. Like, Sam Darnold.
Can he be nominated for Comeback Player of the Year even though he didn't get hurt?
I think he should be at this rate. I like the Vikings at home, comfortable at home. Let's go Vikings. Next up, we have fighting for survival. The San Francisco 49ers are in a similar situation to the Cincinnati Bengals, where they are on their last threads here as they're traveling to Buffalo. A lot of people are signaling this game as San Fran's last hope. Rich, do they stay alive in the playoff hunt for this season?
This is their last hope. They are falling behind and fast in that NFC West division. I think this is it. I think the Super Bowl curse has officially hit the 49ers. They have too many injuries to counter. They don't look like the same team as they did the last two seasons. I watched part of that game with the Packers. They just didn't look explosive the way that they used to. And Buffalo
Didn't look explosive as an understatement. They lost by 28 points.
Yes.
Like crazy.
And Buffalo is on a mission this year. Josh Allen, if Saquon Barkley is not the MVP, it's going to be Josh Allen. Josh Allen is just showing that there's no ceiling to the potential that he has with this Buffalo Bills team. I think this is it. I think Buffalo wins big at home and puts the 49ers out of commission.
Yeah, this is exactly the type of game that San Francisco does not need right now. On the road to cold Buffalo, dealing with injuries, last in their division. The Bills, on the other hand, flying high after defeating the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the point spread here, Buffalo's getting a full touchdown. It's not looking good for San Fran. I'm going Buffalo.
Yeah.
And finally, our very own hometown Philadelphia Eagles are traveling just a little bit down the road to Baltimore to face off against the Ravens. Rich, you already look worried. Tell me, what's got you worried, bud?
All right, I'm going to have to admit it right here. I don't know anything about the Ravens. Like, I've picked wrong on the Ravens, I think, every time this year. Whenever you've told me, what do you think about this game against the Ravens, I think I've been wrong every time.
But I have not.
Therefore, I'm going to say the Ravens win this game and hope I'm wrong, and then the Eagles win.
And do you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say the Eagles win this game.
Okay.
Because I think I always pick against you when it comes to the Ravens. I think without fail, I think last week I was like, no. I forget exactly what the matchup was, but
I can't figure out this Ravens team. Sometimes they show up and they look like a Super Bowl champion.
Lamar Jackson.
And then there's other games they show up and I'm like,
Lamar Jackson is playing out of his mind.
He's doing well, yeah.
Like, just statistically, he has over 3,000 passing yards, 20-some touchdowns, only a couple of interceptions, like 3 interceptions.
But that Ravens pass defense is not up to snuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get it. I don't get how the Ravens are
the Ravens,
pulling off some
the
of these
Ravens
games.
Defense right now, according to NFL.com, is ranked 29th.
Ugh.
29th. And really it's funny because it's almost like complete opposites. The only thing that we have negative against the Eagles is that our passing attack is not great. But I think it's because we don't need to pass. But we still always have the threats of A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Saquon out of the backfield. If Devontae Smith can get healthy this week, which he might be able to, against that pass defense, we can hurt opponents in so many different ways. We don't need to rely on just one thing to get the job done. I don't know. I like the Eagles. Maybe it's just recency bias. Maybe I'm buying into the hype a little too early, but I'm going to continue the streak of picking the opposite of you when it comes to Ravens games.
Yeah,
and hope that it still continues to work.
Right, and I'm going to go with the Ravens because I've just been dead wrong about the Ravens almost every pick this year.
They're a weird team.
They really are. I never
trust
finger
them.
on them.
It's because I said it last week. They're the Sixers of football. They make the playoffs and they lose immediately. I'm not wrong.
Well,
I'm not wrong.
We shall see. But that would be very good for the Eagles if they can pull off another big win on Sunday. Crazy times in Philadelphia if that does happen.
Oh, yeah.
But there you go, folks. Those are our fantastic 4 picks for week number 13 of the NFL season. Yeah, I noticed you didn't put any Thanksgiving games on there.
They all suck.
Yeah, they all suck. That's kind
Like,
of the
literally,
reason why.
I was going through the games, and every game was like 2 losing teams, or it was like the Chiefs against the Raiders. And I'm like these are not interesting matchups. Those were the only matchups.
No, they're not playing Thanksgiving.
No, just that week, this week.
Oh, you're talking about the week in general.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, but the Thanksgiving games themselves were also terrible. The Bears are playing.
I think the night game is Packers.
I think it's
Packers at Dolphins. I think that's the night game.
It's like games that everybody thought were going to be good, but yeah, it is. It's Dolphins and Packers. You got Bears and Lions, lopsided. Giants and Cowboys, 2 losing teams, and then Packers and Dolphins again, lopsided.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be just more background noise as opposed to.
That's fine. Focus
Actual-
on your turkey. Focus on the stuffing.
I do like the fact that they're calling it the John Madden Thanksgiving football games. I like that.
That's fun.
That's
I like
nice.
that. Yeah.
Because you love the turducken and all
Oh,
the
yeah.
commentary he had during that.
I would love a turducken. I've never tried one.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try that at some point.
Yeah.
But there you go, folks. That's the sports sampler for this week. But don't go anywhere because after the break, we still got the entertainment entree and the non-fortune cookie odd news. When we return from the break, this is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We'll be right back. See ya on the flip side.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby,
Barnes & Noble,
and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
Just a moment, you just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this to me?
Hop in the car. Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off me.
only got one car.
Ta-ta and farewell.
That's all right. Get him in the car.
One tough look. Dave and Brent.
Oh, yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. All right, officially done all the sports news, all the football things that are happening. You must be happier than, I don't know, a lollipop or something. I don't know. Everything is going up. Oh, everything's going good for you, Mike, between football,
Yes.
the Eagles.
Yes. Absolutely.
Is there anything that's not going good for you in terms of sports?
In terms of sports?
Yeah, I think you're fine.
No, I'm perfectly fine.
You're gravy.
I don't care what the Sixers are doing.
Yeah.
I don't care about off-season moves for. I don't even know what other sports are
Phillies.
happening. Phillies.
Yeah, you're great.
Are the Flyers? Are they playing?
Yeah.
Who cares? I don't care.
Yeah.
Football.
You're a gravy just in time for Thanksgiving.
Gravy. That's right.
All right. Well, let's leave the sports realm then and go to the second part of our show, the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty? Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right. Officially in entertainment entree territory. And we're going to kick it off with the segment where Mike is going to let you know what you should keep an eye out for this upcoming Thanksgiving weekend with any new movies, TV, and video games with Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mikey, what do you got for the people?
First up in theaters, there is only one movie coming out this week, but it is a big one. Moana 2, the sequel to a Disney fan favorite hitting theaters. This movie picks up a few years after the events of the last film, as Moana receives a message that sends her journeying to the far seas of Oceania to break the curse of a god and reconnect the people of the ocean. Unfortunately, though, this film has failed to capture the same critical response that the first one did. Critics are saying the story, like the characters, are kind of wayward. Several critics say that it doesn't measure up to the first film. That is a very tall task, but it currently has a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 57 out of 100 on Metacritic, so not doing nearly as well. However, it is the only movie out this week, so if you're looking for some wholesome family fun,
That's it.
That's
too bad.
That's it.
Or you got to go back to
an
old movie.
You got to go back to an old movie. Go watch Wicked in theaters if you're looking. I mean, that just came out this past weekend, so it's not that old. But maybe you turn to television because there are two pretty interesting shows coming out. This Star Wars Skeleton Crew premieres the Monday after Thanksgiving on Disney Plus, moving up a day from its previously scheduled release. This is the next live-action series in the Star Wars cinematic universe, taking place at the same time as The Mandalorian. Basically, it's the Goonies in Star Wars. The story follows 4 children lost in the galaxy as they journey to find their way home. I'm really looking forward to this. I didn't think that I was. Then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, it's the Goonies in space. Like, I can get behind that, right?
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll give it a shot. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, you don't sound that positive.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it yet. You know?
Okay, all right.
I don't know if it's.
Are you still a little hurt over what was the last one?
What, the Acolyte?
The Acolyte. Because that left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth.
It's a shame because the Acolyte could have been really good.
Could have been so good.
Yeah.
Ahsoka and the Acolyte really, like, I'm looking forward to this. This seems like it could be a positive step. But if you're looking for something a bit more dramatic, check out The Madness, coming to Netflix this week. It's a new conspiracy thriller limited series. It's actually set in Philadelphia. If you watch the trailer, you can see the Philadelphia skyline, and takes place in the Poconos as well. A media pundit must clear his name after he accidentally stumbles upon the murder of a white supremacist leader in the Poconos, and then has a target placed on him, and he has to go on the run. So yeah, it's like weirdly local with the Poconos and Philadelphia, but it's got like a conspiracy thriller vibe to it. Looks pretty cool. So go check that out. That's The Madness on Netflix.
Does he make a pit stop in Norristown and get some Zeps?
Oh, that would make the series perfect.
Right. You got to be
an entire episode to him just ordering Zeps and explaining what a Zep is, why it's better than a hoagie.
Yep. Thank you.
All that stuff. Yeah.
I want that. Put that in the show.
You should make an entire movie just about Zeps.
Yes.
Just 2 hours, 15 minutes.
Yes.
Of Zeps.
Everybody is wrong about sandwiches.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
Yes.
And finally, in video games, there's no major releases worth mentioning, but the Game Awards are around the corner, and I do have to mention that this marks 10 straight years that PlayStation has had at least one Game of the Year nominee. They also have 16 total nominations this year, but this all leads me to telling you that if you have not done so yet, play Astrobot, PlayStation's Game of the Year nominee for this year. It is a top contender for Game of the Year, but also it's one of the best games that I can think of in recent memory. It's just so good. So since there's no big releases coming out this week, if you haven't tried it, go play Astrobot. And that's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right, there you go, Mikey. Thank you for that segment this week in entertainment. Actually, do you mind if I just do a quick detour?
Yeah, go for it.
And it is something that will connect to the second thing. So
okay.
actually, you'll see.
It.
You'll see.
Yeah.
Triple H, actually, I'm going to wrestling to talk about sports entertainment. So this is entertainment.
Okay.
Just a quick little thing in pro wrestling. Triple H went on a radio show. And, regular conversation. One of the people on this morning radio show was a big wrestling fan, asked him a couple questions. And Triple H had a really interesting quote that I want to just get your opinion on this. And it was kind of in discussion of the new generation of wrestlers and also listening to fans. And if you remember this year, there's been kind of a little bit of tension, if you will. WrestleMania was the big thing where the corporate entities wanted The Rock versus Roman Reigns, and they didn't really understand the appeal of Cody Rhodes.
Right.
And remember, there was going to be something where like Cody Rhodes was just going to hand his title opportunity to The Rock.
Right.
And fans hated it. Fans booed it. Fans were saying this is the worst storyline ever. And so Triple H got the writers to rewrite the story, and it became this thing where The Rock suddenly became the overarching villain, and it worked because then Cody Rhodes came back as the hero, and he won at WrestleMania, and it made actually it made a better story, I think, that they turned The Rock into like this evil, maniacal overlord of Roman Reigns and other characters.
Right.
So there was that moment. And then there was also something else that happened this year that I didn't really talk about on the show. And that is that WWE partnered with X, also known as Twitter, to launch a special championship called the Speed Championship, in which you have this title belt and it can only be won if you defeat the champion in 3 minutes or less. And the matches for the Speed Championship go up exclusively on X because that's like the video limit, I think. I don't think you can. I don't think. I mean, unless you get like a boosted account or something.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Frankly. But anyway.
So they're running with this, the official WWE Speed Championship. That's now a thing.
Right.
So they were asking Triple H, kind of like criticism and critiques that, are you listening too much to this generation? I mean, that seems ridiculous. Only a match in 3 minutes.
Right.
But he said it was done because they were doing, market research, and kids don't, they don't watch a long match.
No.
Especially on social media.
Yeah.
So Triple H had this full quote here, and I want to get your opinion on it.
All right.
He says here, I know guys across many different generations, and I think there are some older performers that look at the way kids perform today, and they say they're just not doing it right. They don't need to do this. I get it, but it's the way that kids consume content today. There is a saying about when things start to leave you in life. The first thing to go is music. How many people, as you see them get older, say music today sucks. Back in my day, that's when they made good music. But no, you have to realize you're just old, dude. The stuff that was great in your generation, you learned it a certain way, but the kids today learn it a different way. And what they see and what they think is cool is what you need to give them. I cannot control that. It is in no way, shape, or form about what I want. It is about what they want. If it becomes about what I want, wrestling will die. So I thought that was a very interesting quote, and it really did silence the critique in that room on that morning show. But do you think that was a really good defense of that argument? I mean, he really came down with the hammer on that.
Yeah,
the sledgehammer, if you will. That was his weapon of choice.
Yeah, I 100% agree, because I think the same way a lot of the time about things. He mentioned music. That's so totally true, because every generation tries to vilify the music that's new to them, right? Mm-hmm. You think like our parents' generation was like, boo rap, and their parents' generation was like, boo rock and roll, and their parents' generation was like, boo jazz,
boo swing music. Yeah.
So and we're sitting here, and I guarantee you, if Taylor Swift popped up, we'd be like, boo Taylor Swift. It's just a natural reaction to. It's so 100% true, and I heard this all the time. When I was in my master's classes for writing, and we had like screenplay writing classes and stuff like that. I mean, or books as well. People just throwing vitriolic statements about like, oh, it's just all schlock now, and oh, shows like this aren't good. You got to watch these. You got to watch the old stuff. You got to watch. And I was always a big supporter of like, no, because art is not just art for art's sake. There's part of it, but also the other part of it is like, if you're going to sell it, if you're going to be commercial, you have to go where people are consuming content. You can't just create it in a vacuum, because if it doesn't get consumed, I don't think it's ever completed. If you're writing and it doesn't get consumed, it's just a journal. If you're painting and it doesn't get consumed, you're just scribbling. If you're making wrestling and nobody's watching it, you're just beating dudes up in a basement.
Yeah.
You're not really completing the creative process. Creative pursuits are only completed once they're consumed. So you have to create something that can be commercialized to some degree. It doesn't have to be like pop culture, like Taylor Swift or Harry Potter. It doesn't have to be the biggest, but it has to be viable as well. So I'm totally in line with him and thinking that, you gotta, I said it. I literally 4 minutes ago, I was like, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. So like, call me out first of all. But, yeah, I mean, to a degree, he's right. You gotta do what the people want. That's where the statement, the customer's always right, comes from. It doesn't mean that you should give every Karen every discount that they want. The saying means that if the customer's buying widget A a lot, sell more widget A. That's what it means by the customer's always right.
Yeah.
So the kids are watching it this way. Give the kids what they want. It's going to keep wrestling alive. It's going to keep it growing. It's going to keep it evolving. If you don't like it, stop watching it.
Yeah.
But it's not for you anymore then.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's getting at, especially with this speed championship, that a lot of the older generations are like saying that this is preposterous. But apparently
you can even see it on a micro scale. Sorry, not to jump in, but you can see it on a micro scale, because I know one of your favorite bands went through this, Ghost, where it's like, oh, their music isn't the way it used to be. But you're talking about a time span of 10 years. You're not even going back to like Beatles versus like, I don't know, like Eminem. Like you're talking on a micro scale, even within the same fandoms and genres. You see people get bent out of shape when a musician changes their sound. It's like, well, they're an artist. They want to grow and change things.
Yeah.
You might not like it. maybe it's not for you anymore.
Right. Ghost went more pop with some of their latest singles.
I thought it was fantastic. I like them more now. Not that their old stuff wasn't good, but I like them more now. But
some of the metalheads don't like it.
Yeah. So even the same example on a micro scale, even.
Yeah. So
I like Triple H is right.
Yeah, I thought you would like that quote. I thought that was appropriate, and that last sentence got to me. That I really like that. Like that was a really big sledgehammer at the end there.
Yeah.
If it becomes about what I want, wrestling will die.
Yeah.
So
smart businessman right there.
Hey, and that's why he's in charge of WWE right now in the creative aspects.
But speaking of wrestlers and quotes, thank you for the layup there. Another former wrestler is making a little bit of headlines right now for his take on musical movies. Of course, the big musical movie right now in theaters is Wicked. I got a chance to see it. I have to say, as a fan of the Broadway show, it did a spectacular job of adapting it to the screen. I was very hesitant from hearing that it's going to be 2 parts, from worrying that it's going to be too poppy with Ariana Grande, to, thinking like, oh, it's a big budget remake, it's a cash grab. No to all of it. It was super, super high quality, from the visuals, the sound, the set design, costumes, to the music itself. I think I got to shout out Ariana Grande specifically. I was very worried. I was like, she can't do those songs. She's going to make it too poppy. Absolutely not. 100% wrong. She freaking killed it. Absolutely crushed it.
All right. Mikey would singing the praises.
Singing the praises, yeah. So I give it like a solid 8.5 out of 10. Like,
wow.
Yeah, if you like Wicked the musical, you will like the movie. If you don't like Wicked the musical, I still say give it a shot. If you can tolerate musical movies, it's still just a fun movie. Like the choreography, the sights, the set design. Like it's very flashy, very fun. But one of the big issues with Wicked is that people love singing the songs.
Yep.
Movie theaters have had to put up signs where they're like, please don't sing. Like, that's absurd, right? But apparently it's not that absurd, because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson recently said in a BBC interview, sing! You've paid your hard-earned money for a ticket, and you've gone into a musical, and you're into it. Sing. Rich, if you walked into a movie theater
all right,
and people are singing
hold on. We need
during the movie.
All right, hold on. We need to calm the horses here. Wait a
Okay.
minute. Okay. 2 different things. Singing. If you're singing just in your seat and you're enjoying the movie and the moment sweeps you up and you start singing in your seat, perfectly fine. Go ahead, enjoy yourself.
In the middle of a crowded theater?
Sure.
Wow.
As long as you're just yourself and you're not distracting attention.
So you're talking under your breath.
Well, just regular, like if you're just seeing the show and you're going along with the look. I saw the Ghost movie.
That's different. That's a concert movie.
What? What's the difference?
Because this is a movie.
What's wrong with what? It's the same thing.
I don't think it's the same thing.
All right, whatever. The whole point is, if you're singing and you're just like containing it to like your air and your area, there's a line in the sand, and it's the second thing I'm going to do.
Okay.
The second thing is performing.
Okay.
If you are, just belting a song and you're taking attention away from the movie and you're dancing and you're doing choreography in the aisles, no, sit your ass down. Yeah, you're distracting everybody.
See, now
that's the line in the sand to me.
My line in the sand is more strict.
Don't distract from the movie.
See,
enjoy what you want to in your seat.
My line in the sand is more strict, because say somebody's sitting directly next to me and they're singing. I want to hear. He's right. I did pay my hard-earned money to hear Ariana Grande sing, not to hear Bob sing. I don't want to hear Bob sitting next to me sing.
Well, I mean,
I want to hear Ariana Grande sing.
Is he like belt? Like, is he like?
But you're sitting next to somebody. Oh, he's gonna try and give a
yeah, I want to try and figure this out. Like, so.
Okay, so hold on. If you're doing this, nobody mourns the wicked.
But we got headphones. Yeah, we got to do like an experiment where I'm trying to.
Okay, yeah, all right. He's pulling off the headphones.
This is weird
because he can't hear.
Weird. I can't believe I'm doing this during the show.
Okay.
All right.
So.
I don't know.
Oh my God, I'm scared.
Yeah, wait. I should.
Do I need to pull my headphones off?
I'm the one singing. Wait a minute. I don't know how I should do this.
How should we do this? Okay, so
right.
just.
I'm
okay.
gonna sing Ghost. Wait.
Should we both pull off our headphones?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Just wanna be with you. Well, you know what? Wait, I just realized the problem is we don't have music backing us.
No, we don't.
Shoot. All right, we're not gonna be able to do this.
No, we're not gonna be. So here's my theory. If you
This
are
weird. This is how you know we never know what we're gonna do exactly on the podcast.
That was a tangent. That we've never had something like that before.
There should be like, if you're
there's a cone. Imagine a cone around you in your seat. If you are humming quietly to yourself, no one mourns the wicked. But if you're going, no one mourns the wicked, like.
But see, like what you just did. You didn't even notice you just did
with
it.
My arms.
You started performing. Like right there. No. Yeah, that foul.
I think here's the key. Here's the key. This is a musical for musical nerds. I don't think there's anybody going to be quietly. I think people are going to be. I think people are singing.
So I think that's the line in the sand. If you cannot contain yourself, you need to get out of the theater.
But I also think if I'm the person sitting next to somebody, even if they're mumbling, like
you can't hear that in a theater.
Would that not distract you? Somebody sitting next to you, they're like crazy.
If they're just mumbling,
just like mumbling to themselves.
If they're just mumbling, you're not going to hear that in a movie theater.
Maybe.
Not with surround sound, THX BS blaring in your ears.
THX. They recently had a study that millennials have more hearing loss than other generations. It's because every movie we went to, your hair's blowing back, your skin is peeling off your face.
Yeah, that's why. Whoops.
Yeah. Just thinking about it gave me a headache. So it seems like The Rock's quote here has a little bit more gray area than I expected to, because I'm very much opposed to it. I'm like, no, I don't want to hear your singing, but you think that there's an acceptable level.
Don't distract from what's happening on the screen. I think that should be the golden rule. Enjoy yourself, have fun, but don't go overboard where you're distracting from the movie experience.
The trouble with that is that everybody's level of distraction is different, because maybe you can tolerate more than that, but like me, I'm very sensitive to being in the moment. So if somebody's mumbling next to me, it's going to irritate me, because I'm like, my mind is like, what are they saying? What was that? Like it's kind of like being pulled in two different directions.
Okay.
So I think out of caution, I would just suggest that people maybe don't do anything. Just watch, enjoy the movie. Save the singing for like after it's been in theaters for like 4 weeks. Then you can go to a basically empty theater and you can dance in the aisles. You can spin around. You can defy gravity by leaping down the stairs. Whatever you want to do. But like opening weekends,
I can see that. I can see people like performing. Like that's not right. No, don't do that.
I literally saw a clip where somebody was asked the audience before the show, turned around and asked the fellow audience members, like, "Do you guys mind if I sing?" And everyone was like, "Don't sing, no."
Yeah, don't. Don't perform.
It's a hot button issue. Apparently, theaters have been having problems with it, and The Rock's comment here just goes to show. Even
who started this?
Who's Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift started this with that damn movie.
Leads us back to Triple H's comment.
Music today sucks. You know what? I take back everything I said. Triple H is wrong.
Yeah.
Everything is wrong. Taylor Swift ruined everything.
Speaking of singing during movies.
Yeah.
So I had never seen, like, I've never been to a Taylor Swift concert. I've never like looked up any of her like music videos or anything. So I back when it came out, I took Jordan to go see the movie because she was really into it. And I was like, I'll give it a shot. I'll watch it. I'll give it 110%. I'll pay attention. It's a long movie, but I was in there, right? But to my point, do you know what really removes you from paying attention to a movie? Is people taking flash photography, dancing in the aisles, and literally singing out loud, not mumbling to yourself, but singing out loud. And I'm like, I get that it's more of like a concert atmosphere, but I just paid like $30 to watch this lady on screen, not you, Becky, 37, sitting there with your 10-year-olds, okay? Like, take it down from an 11 to like you got to come in at least like a 7, at most a 7,
So Mikey
But
is not a fan.
you want to be dancing in the aisles.
No, I don't know. My rule of thumb is do not distract from what is happening on the screen.
Okay.
That's my line in the sand. Sing to yourself, but don't ruin the movie experience.
We'll go. How about this? We'll go to Wicked together. I will sing to myself directly sitting next to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
find out.
We'll see.
Well, we need to have like a testing tool. Like, how loud are you singing?
We'll bring.
And
We'll bring our
does it
setup with
bleed?
us.
Does it bleed into my? Yeah, we need to do scientific movie watching.
Does
here.
my cone bleed into your cone
Right.
of silence?
Right. That's we need to figure this out.
Yeah. So that was something.
Yeah.
Are we running over?
I think we're running over.
Yeah. So
Can you knock this out real fast?
Oh, you want me to knock it out?
Or-
I was going to say let's just move on to
Or up to you. What can you?
Yeah, we'll kick it to next week. People are like,
Kick it
what
next
are
week.
they talking about?
Special bulletin. We'll
Like
give
this-
it to you next
it's like
week.
inside baseball. We're like actively planning the next show.
Yes, on the fly. And that's the only way we would do it, especially with this final segment coming up, the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing.
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts. That'll be $4, baby. You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at Meat Tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. Oh, what does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Woo! Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news here in this segment. Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden for me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. You're looking very pleased with yourself.
No, I'm not pleased. I am very I'm very upset with myself.
Oh no. Okay.
But we gotta talk about it.
All right, where are we going?
All right, this is an update.
Oh no.
This is a man from Colorado.
Colorado.
32-year-old Stephen Masalta.
Wait a second, that name sounds familiar.
Yes,
I mean, you did say it was an update.
It better sound familiar. Familiar because this man was tried in court and he pleaded guilty. And if you remember Stephen Masalta, his crime that he admitted that he was guilty of is that he I'm just going to say, yeah, he jerked off and inserted a bodily fluid into cupcakes that were consumed by guests at a child's birthday party.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Yes, he pleaded guilty, so he did in fact do this.
Oh, no.
32-year-old Stephen Masalta worked at the local Safeway supermarket. Recently copped to attempting to this indecent charge here. He's going to get a plea agreement. He's going to serve 2 years in jail and be placed on the sex offender intensive supervision probation list for 10 years.
What was that name? Intensive supervision
probation
list.
So not just the sex offender list. This is the intensive supervision probation list.
It's too many nouns.
Is that like a guy who's just like checking up on you every day? Like, you didn't go near a child today, did you?
How many kids you seen today?
Did you measure how far you were away from children?
Does he have to like wear like a tape measure around him or something?
Yeah. Yeah. And this
Yeah,
guy's
what
gonna,
does intensive supervision mean?
Yeah, there's going to be some extra things that he's going to have to do. I don't know.
Weird. Okay. I mean, warranted.
Oh my God! Wait, I have it here.
Oh no. Okay.
Wow, it is straight up. He is not allowed to have any contact with anyone under the age of 18 in Colorado.
Wow.
Wow.
How do they manage that? How do you like?
Wow. I mean, I'm glad that this is in place, but
yeah,
that is intensive.
That is very.
You are not allowed.
How do you like?
Period.
Say you want to go to like McDonald's. There's a lot of like high school kids that work. You just can't go.
I guess you can't go in the building. You have to go through the drive-through.
But then the person handing you the food, what if they're like a teenager? Do you have to be like, whoa, I can't take that food from you?
Oh, that's right, because it's having contact.
Like, how does that work?
Oh my God. Yeah, wow.
I never thought logistically about how that works. Whoa.
Well, I guess the problem is going to be the other people don't know that you're on this list.
Does he just wear a sign that like, run, I'm a predator?
Yes, I'm officially on this list.
Like, how else do you... Or does he go to the drive-thru and be like, by the way...
SOISP list? Does that form something?
What was that? SOIPO?
SOISP. Sex Offender Intensive Supervision Probation List.
SOISPO.
SOISPO? I don't know.
He comes to the drive-thru. He's like, yeah, I'll have a Big Mac. Well, also, I'm SOISPO.
So I need an adult.
So tell your children to run.
Can you please give me an adult?
Can you please give me an adult? I need an adult. Damn.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up, not just because of the fact that he pleaded guilty to it, so we can clearly say that this guy's creepy and he deserves everything coming into him. But also, they had to go into a probe of his past instances.
Oh, no.
So now we've got the full boatload of things that he has done.
Oh, God.
Strap yourselves in. Okay, so obviously this thing is obviously the thing that got him in trouble is very disgusting here.
Yeah.
He decided to make his own creamy addition to the cupcakes.
Oh my God.
I mean,
that's so disgusting.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
They're like, why is the frosting on this one so different than the others? Oh, no.
Yeah. So
that's such a sick, twisted thing to do.
Yep.
Also, I don't understand how, because he was working there, right?
Yeah, he was working for Safeway Supermarket at the time.
It's like the cupcakes come out. He's like, ooh, you know what? I just don't understand that leap in logic. Oh, God.
Yeah,
oh my
wait.
God, I'm terrified.
Are you ready for the next detail on this little incident?
Oh, okay. All right. Oh my God, what was that? We're just dying. Guys, if you're not on the video feed, you gotta watch because Rich is literally like about to pass out right now.
Okay. I gotta calm down.
I love this.
According to the police report, they have a video of him committing the act.
No.
In the video, Masalta touches his penis over the batch of 12 cupcakes that featured Super Mario.
It's me! It's me! Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, man.
Super Mario. That's what did it.
Not Princess Peach. Super Mario.
Woo! Boy, nothing. I'm busting more than blocks over here. Woo!
Oh, my God. So he really likes Super Mario.
Wow.
It's at that moment where he's like, you know what? It wasn't worth it. You get all your dirty laundry aired in court. Now everybody knows you got a weird Super Mario cupcake fetish.
Yeah, I don't know what the...
There's so many questions I don't want to ask and I don't want answered.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yes. Whew. That takes either he is very excited by video games, or he is just focused on letting one out.
So vulgar. Oh man.
So, that is in the police report, by the way. So there is no ifs, ands, or buts, and he pled guilty.
They got him dead to rights.
They
yeah.
pled, yeah.
They got him on video.
Yep. He was recorded doing this between the bakery and the freezer areas of the Fort Collins Safeway store. So I guess cold doesn't bother him.
I guess not. No.
No, he can still crank one out.
Oh my God.
Some people, that usually hinders your performance when it's really cold, but he's fine.
Yeah. Oh my God.
According to the police report, there was also another instance in which he decided to put his penis into a plastic container filled with strawberries. So he also likes some strawberries as well.
Just put it in?
Yeah, just wanted to feel what it was like.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
So...
That guy is just broken.
Yeah, this
I
guy...
don't know, he's like a container of strawberries. He's like, oh, man.
I wonder what that feels like.
I wonder what that feels like. Like cut up strawberries? Like cubes or like pieces of strawberries, or like whole strawberries?
It just says strawberries in a plastic container.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all bizarre.
Yeah,
but
this whole thing, yeah. But, wow, this guy really just has no shame. There should be something in the back of your mind saying, "Hey,
don't do that.
Don't do this. This is a public health hazard."
Yeah,
and
also
ruining,
it's super weird.
Yeah, ruining your life. Yeah, there's none of that happening in his head.
There's absolutely no benefit to this.
And Super Mario is sad now.
Super Mario is very sad.
Super Mario is not having a good day on the castle grounds.
No, he is not. They need to, if you're getting a job at a supermarket, be like, does any kind of food turn you on? And if somebody's like, well, let me tell you about baguettes. Like, nope, fired. Preemptively fired.
We just have not have a good record on these things. We need to make sure that the next person that comes in this bakery knows what they're doing.
Just show them a slideshow of a bunch of different foods and just watch for their pupils to dilate or something.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Also, when he started out at the Safeway store, he worked as a night stalker, at which point he also decided to put his penis into a bucket of commercial pastry frosting as well.
Oh, man.
So now he's going, the cream. There you go.
He's just sticking his junk in everything.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Strawberries.
Yeah. Boy, the strawberries and the cream.
Strawberries and cream.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
So there you go. He's happy there.
Oh my God. Unreal.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for people that had to consume that food.
Yeah.
And if I were them, I would sue the grocery store so hard. I don't know if it's possible to sue the grocery store, but I would try, because that is just revolting.
Yep. To go back to the special Super Mario cupcakes, the mom had ordered a total of 24 cupcakes for the birthday party, which was attended by children.
Oh, God.
The cops, therefore, was able to get a full charge of child abuse thrown at him.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah,
They're not messing around.
No. But that is not all, according to the police report.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yep.
There's more.
Yep.
That wasn't bad enough.
Nope. They also have him linked to incidents outside of coffee shops in Loveland and Fort Collins, Colorado, coffee shops where he reportedly masturbated outside of the windows.
What is wrong with this guy?
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Yeah.
So wait, he already got caught doing other things like this. And nobody at any point was like, Nah, he won't do it again.
or they didn't think he wouldn't do it at work.
I got my fingers crossed for a little freaky deaky.
He did it in public outside of a place of business. You think being inside the place of business is going to stop him?
I guess they just assumed maybe some common decency or something, but no, not with a guy like this.
You got to watch, like, if you're hiring somebody like that, you got to watch them like a hawk. You can't let them out of your sight. He's sticking his junk in everything he can get his hands on.
Yeah. And also, when his residence was being searched because of the crimes that he was being charged for, it was found that he had hidden camera videos of women.
Oh, no.
I got my fingers crossed for a little freaky deaky.
Oh, that's insidious.
Using, I guess just using deduction techniques, they were able to conclude that he went to a church and tried to get upskirt videos of women from this church. So wow, there you go. Just
man, this guy,
the holiest of holies there.
She's not a Christian!
Oh, he certainly isn't.
Nope.
Oh man, this guy is really like just batting 1,000 here.
Yep. In addition, there was another library. Oh, that's not a good way to phrase this. Another library of videos.
When something is described as a library, that is far too many of a thing.
Yep. A library of videos where he placed a phone inside of a tissue box atop of a toilet and recorded over 14 different women using the toilet.
Ew.
Oh, yeah. This guy's, whoa.
Oh, now you fucked up. You have fucked up now.
This guy is like out of control.
Yeah.
Upskirt shots, bathroom voyeurism, jerking off onto cupcakes, sticking his junk in strawberries and food stuff. Like this guy's also masturbating in front of coffee shops. Like,
yeah.
How did? Oh man, I don't even know.
What a record to present to the judge.
Oh man,
Here you go. This is this guy over here.
You only got 2 years for all this?
Well, 2 years in jail.
And then you got the SOSA.
And then after that, 10 years on. So it's after that.
Super intensive.
Yeah, sex
supervision.
Sex offender intensive supervision probation list, in which he will not have any contact with anyone under the age of 18. That is.
Damn.
I've never heard of anything like that. That you need to.
I mean, I know that if they put you on a list, you gotta you can't live within certain distance of a school and things like that. But I've never heard of just you can't. Man, it really makes you think that really ruins your entire life if you do something stupid like that. Just don't do the stupid thing. Just be normal and not sexually assault people.
Yep.
Or put your junk in food.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
So the final charges are misdemeanor indecent exposure charges and charges to commit sexual assault on a child.
Oof. Yeah.
So and child abuse as well.
I mean, look at what he did. Yeah.
And there's multiple of each ones. So
Yikes.
he is getting the full.
He got the book thrown at him.
As well he should.
Yeah.
But it is unbelievable. This is one of those things where I think a detective that was in charge of this was like, okay, I'll dig into this guy. Oh, no.
Well, they're probably
okay.
We got a solid case. And then they just oh, wait, there's more. Oh, wait, there's more. Oh, it's...
They were probably like, it can't get any worse. Oh, no.
They keep discovering more, yeah. At a certain point, they must be we don't need to dig anymore. We don't need to know all the depraved stuff.
I think after the video library, I think they were just like, we're done. Here we go.
They're like, we got enough evidence.
Sir, there's 3 more rooms over there. We're good.
There's 3 more rooms.
We're good.
Just get to the first room.
We're good. I think we have enough here to do some damage.
When something like that is described as a library, that's far too many of that thing.
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
Yeah, this is
just yikes.
When you think of a creep, this is the creep.
I mean, it checks all the boxes: voyeurism, upskirt shots, public indecency. Endangering people. It just checks all the boxes.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yikes.
And we can officially confirm he pleaded guilty.
He did it.
So
they had video evidence of him and Mario. He can't.
What an affair.
He's like, I didn't do it. And Mario's like, it's a him. He did it. He did it. I'll never be the same.
I can't get the stains out of my jeans.
Oh, no.
I used to be a red. Now I'm a white.
Oh, man. Oh, no. It's bad. The Mario thing was just...
That is a detail I never knew I needed to hear on a story.
Was it the fact that they were Mario cupcakes? Like, if it was like like a Minecraft cupcake, he's like, nah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one.
Was Mario specifically?
Oh. That one did it. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. I can handle a lot of things, but when the Mario cupcakes come out, whoo, can't help myself. He did it in the freezer too, or whatever.
Yeah, he was in between the freezer and the bakery aisle, so it must have been really cold.
It has to be cold, right?
But I guess it didn't bother him.
In the aisle, or in the bakery section?
It said, I think, the aisle.
Wait, how did nobody see? It must have been after hours. I
yeah,
guess.
because he worked as a
You said he
night
was
stalker.
a night stalker. Oh man, they need to get somebody reviewing those cameras. Jeez.
Woof. So there you go, and he pleaded guilty. So
well, good.
Yeah, all the charges.
Put him under that supervision.
Yep. So be careful of those cupcakes that you're eating
now.
For
now,
Thanksgiving.
like I don't want to buy any food anywhere. What am I supposed to do now?
You're gonna have to make your own cupcakes now
from scratch. Everything from scratch.
Don't buy the cupcakes.
But no strawberries.
Yeah, don't trust the strawberries
They're
either.
out of season anyway. We don't need them.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make your own.
Grow my own
cupcakes.
Strawberries. Mill my own wheat.
You don't know whose penis has been on them.
It sounds like a terrible PSA.
Yes.
Wash your fruit. You don't know whose penis has been on it.
Yep. So there you go.
Oh, man.
What an update from the archives of the Crispy Noodle.
What an absolute disaster.
Yep.
Of a human being.
Don't eat the cupcakes. Happy Thanksgiving!
Right?
So there you go, folks. You never know what's going to happen exactly here on the Crispy Noodle podcast. But if you like all of the news that we had for you, if you like our commentary, if you like our trying to do a test but we failed in the test, if you like what we attempted to do on this show, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms. But most importantly, make sure you have a way to get the podcast sent to you every week. Two main ways to do it. First one is on YouTube. We put the video podcast up on YouTube. So all you got to do is hit the subscribe button on YouTube, and you'll get the videos of the video podcast sent to you every week, so you can be in the loop on sports, entertainment, and odd news every week. Or the second main way to do that, we are on Spotify. We put the video podcast up on Spotify, and you can enjoy us there. But you can also put Spotify on in the background and listen to us as an audio-only podcast. And if you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, you can use Spotify through them. So you can take us on the go with you if you want to hear odd news. If you're traveling for Thanksgiving, you can literally go through our episodes and listen to all the crazy odd news that has happened throughout this year.
That's right. So many ways to check out the Crispy Noodle podcast. But if you need to get in touch with us individually to share your sports, entertainment, or odd news stories, you can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I'm at Richard Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on Twitter, X, whatever it is. And let us know how you're celebrating Thanksgiving. And if you want us to talk about something specific on next week's episode, odd news comes to me so that Mikey doesn't see it. But there you go. That'll wrap it up. This has been the Crispy Noodle podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your fish and salad of life and boring news. That'll do it. We hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week.
That's right. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yep. Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.